Raju was born in a small, dusty town where dreams were dismissed as luxuries. His father was a carpenter, shaping wood into doors and windows, but his earnings barely managed to feed the family. His mother stitched clothes for neighbors late into the night, her tired eyes squinting in the dim glow of an oil lamp. Their home was filled with love, but heavy with struggle. From childhood, Raju heard the same words over and over again. Life is hard. People like us cannot afford dreams. Be content with what you have. But Raju's heart never accepted this as the final truth. Whenever the day's work was done, he climbed onto the roof of their little home and gazed at the stars. Something inside him whispered, "There is more." One evening, while running an errand in the marketplace, Raju noticed an old man sitting beneath a banyan tree. He wasn't a beggar, nor a vendor. His presence was unusual, calm yet powerful. A small group of people stood around him as he spoke. Raju stopped, curious. "Your life is not decided by where you are born," the old man said. "It is shaped by what you believe. What you believe, you manifest. And what you manifest becomes your reality." Most of the crowd chuckled. "Another madman with big talk," they muttered as they walked away. But Raju stood frozen. His heart pounded with every word. When the crowd dispersed, Raju gathered courage and asked softly, "Sir, do you mean anyone can change their life just by believing?" The man smiled knowingly. "Not only by believing, child. By believing, feeling, and acting. The universe listens to clarity and faith." He pulled out a small, worn booklet and placed it in Raju's hands. Its title read, "The Secret Power Within." That night, long after his parents had gone to bed, Raju lit an oil lamp and opened the booklet. Its pages spoke of something unbelievable yet deeply convincing. That thoughts are magnets, that what you focus on with emotion, you attract, and that imagination is the blueprint of your future. Raju whispered to himself, "If this is true, I will change everything." He began small. His family often slept hungry, so his first vision was simple, a table full of food. Each night before bed, he closed his eyes and pictured steaming rice, warm bread, fruits, and vegetables. He imagined his mother smiling while serving, and his father eating without worry. He repeated to himself, "My family eats well." More days passed, but nothing changed. Doubts crept in. Maybe this is foolishness. Maybe I'm only imagining. But he remembered the old man's words. Believe, feel, and act. So Raju worked with new energy. He helped his father more carefully with carpentry. He offered to carry loads for shopkeepers and ran errands with honesty. He carried his vision in his heart constantly. One morning, while helping a merchant move goods, Raju found a small leather pouch on the ground. Inside was money, more than his family had ever seen. His first instinct was to hide it, but his heart reminded him, money without honesty never stays. He took it back to the merchant. The man was astonished. "You could have kept this, boy. No one would have known." "My father says money without honesty disappears," Raju said softly. The merchant was moved by his integrity and rewarded him with steady work at his shop. The pay was modest, but far more than Raju had ever earned. Within weeks, he brought home sacks of rice, vegetables, and fruits. His mother cried tears of joy. "Raju, how did this happen?" she asked in disbelief. He smiled quietly and whispered, "Because I believed it could." Now convinced, Raju dared to dream bigger. He longed for education. Books had always fascinated him, but poverty kept him away from schools. Each morning he stood before a cracked mirror and told himself, "I am a student. Knowledge flows to me. Opportunities open for me." At night, he imagined himself reading, writing, and learning. Months later, his manifestation bore fruit. The local schoolmaster, who often noticed Raju's sincerity at the shop, offered to teach him for free in the evenings. For Raju, It was nothing short of a miracle. But not everyone celebrated his journey. Neighbors mocked him. "Books won't put food on the table," one sneered. "You're wasting your time," another said. Even his father warned, "Don't fly too high, son." "You'll only fall harder." Raju's faith wavered. Some nights he nearly gave up. But then he remembered the empty table of the past and the abundance they now enjoyed. He reminded himself, if one dream came true, so can the next. He poured his heart into studies. With every passing month, he grew sharper, more confident. He read about great leaders, inventors, and thinkers, many of whom spoke of belief, vision, and determination. Slowly, he realized manifestation was not magic, it was discipline. Still, the real test awaited him. As he grew older, Raju no longer wanted only to escape poverty. He wanted to uplift his entire community. He began dreaming of a training center in his town where poor youth could learn skills to create their own futures. Each night, he saw it in his mind. Rows of young men and women learning trades, their eyes shining with hope. He felt the joy of it so strongly that it almost seemed real. But building such a center required land, money, and influence, things far beyond his reach. Yet he held on to faith. The universe supports me. My dream is already on its way. Life tested him harder now. There were months when money was so tight that even his own studies seemed impossible. There were days when villagers ridiculed him for chasing what they called impossible fantasies. One evening, exhausted and nearly broken, he sat outside his house staring at the sky, his eyes filled with tears. "Why am I holding on to this dream when nothing is changing?" he whispered. Just then, he remembered the words from that booklet. "Your thoughts are seeds. Some grow quickly, some take time, but none are wasted if planted with faith." He took a deep breath and said aloud, "I will not give up. My dream will live." Years passed. Raju's determination and honesty earned him the respect of many in town. Then one day, fate opened a door. A wealthy businessman named Mr. Kapoor visited the marketplace. He needed someone trustworthy to manage his accounts temporarily. The merchant Raju had once helped recommended him. Raju worked diligently, and Mr. Kapoor was deeply impressed by his honesty and intelligence. At the end of his contract, Mr. Kapoor asked, "Young man, what is your dream?" Without hesitation, Raju said, "I want to build a training center for poor youth so they can shape their own futures." Mr. Kapoor looked at him with surprise. "Not wealth for yourself? Not a big house or comforts?" Raju smiled. "Those will come. But if I only manifest for myself, it ends with me. If I manifest for others, it lives forever." Mr. Kapoor was so moved that he pledged a large donation. Word spread, and soon others came forward to support. Brick by brick, the training center rose. The day it opened, children and young adults filled the classrooms, their laughter echoing like music. Raju stood at the entrance, tears streaming down his face. His vision, once ridiculed, was now alive. As years went by, hundreds of youth trained at the center. They learned skills, found jobs, built businesses, and transformed their families. The cycle of poverty slowly began to break, not just for Raju, but for an entire community. Whenever people asked him his secret, Raju would simply say, "Manifestation is not about wishing. It is about believing with clarity, feeling it in your heart, and acting with faith. The universe listens when your heart is true." He became a mentor, teaching others the same principles he had once learned from a stranger under a banyan tree. And he often reminded them, "Your circumstances do not define you." Raju never sought fame or riches, yet both found him in their own way. But more importantly, he found something far greater: purpose. From a hungry boy who once whispered to the stars, he became a man who proved that belief could move mountains, and manifestation could shape destinies. And every evening, he still looked at the sky, whispered a thank you, and reminded himself and others of the truth he had lived. The power to manifest lies within every human heart. Believe it, live it, and the universe will answer.